Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday. I think it's the 6th today. Anyway, I'm out on the dog walk again. This one's a little bit different because I've got Vicki, my daughter's Doberman. They're having a anniversary slash birthday weekend. So we've got Vic. She's over there, I think, after a rabbit. Not really sure. And I just heard Winky take off. And there's Vicki. Winky's digging up a storm. Anyway, we sold some goats this morning. They are headed to Danville auction. We sold Rose, Debbie, and Walter. And I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about it. I'm glad we sold them, but I was really hoping, okay, let me back up. The reason I got goats, and this was my idea, the reason I got goats was I was hoping they would be a complimentary little business to go with the sheep. So what I needed them to do, or at least the idea was, what they would do was be with the sheep and eat the things that the sheep don't eat in the pasture, which actually that is very goat. Sheep and goats like different things. And we do have some multiflora rose and a few other non-grass plants growing like chicory, and the goats eat all that kind of stuff. So that part of the plan was a good part of the plan. The catch is the goats stay out with the sheep until they don't. And that's where things go a little wobbly. So the goats, I could keep them out there until they refuse to stay, and then I couldn't keep them out there at all. So they would come back to the barn, and I was also not liking the condition of the goats that they were in. They weren't keeping the weight that they needed. And as you saw, they're Boer type goats, so they should be a little bit chunkier. They just weren't keeping on the condition. But then when they started breaking out and coming back to the barn, now they're getting a little grain. Now they nibble the bottom branches on like the fruit trees and stuff, and they look great. So at least the goats that we had aren't grazing only material, which I have to admit is not a surprise. If I wanted grazing only and absolutely grazing only, then I should have gotten something more of a Kiko type. But either way, I got Boer type. One's registered, one is not, mom-wise. And the reason I went with Boer is at least around here, the Boers, looking pretty dark, I didn't realize that. Anyway, at least around here, the Boers sell significantly better. The price for a Kiko type goat isn't super great. It's pretty low, just like a dairy type goat. I'm not saying that's right, I'm saying that's the price. So that was the reason to go with a Boer type, even though I knew it was kind of an iffy decision. Maybe it'll work out, maybe it wouldn't. And what I have come to figure out is, so far it's not looking like the goats are a viable business decision to complement the sheep. So we sold those 3, and there's 2 that are still here. To be honest, I'm not sure what we're going to do with those 2. But we'll figure it out. So I'm a little disappointed that the goat thing didn't work out because I had such high hopes. Goats are great. Goats are fun. Goats are just very interesting animals to hang out with. But what I was hoping they would do for us here didn't end up happening. So those 3 will be sold, and that's just the update for today. if you look down there, you can see the corn that Jason used as bait. And they jumped right up in. So these three are headed to Danville today. You can hear the neighbor dove hunting. Trying to get a good view of her condition. She looks really good. And there's the youngest one, Walter. And now that I have a sec to think about it, I want to add some more. First thing, I'm standing in the shade so it isn't all squinty. At least I'm not all squinty. That or all you see is kind of like right here. Anyway, either way, hoping for a little bit better look than that. The other thing I need to say about the goats is I could have put more money into them. That is completely doable. I could get, goat specific netting. I could get them like a solar fencer dedicated just to the goat pasture. That way when we need to turn it off to move sheep, the goat fence is still on. Or I could set up a specific pen in the barn. All that's completely doable. But is not how I wanted to do things. If they were pets, then I'd get the stuff and do it. But they're not. So since the whole idea is for them to be a complementary business, meaning they need to make money or look like they're going to make money in the next few years, that's what I needed to see. And that, at least with these goats at this time, with what I'm willing to put in, that's not going to work out.